Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt presents $100,000 towards the creation of a financial aid program at the State College. Domlec receives the licenses to continue operations in Dominica, and Phase 1 of the Silver Lake Housing Program has commenced. Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Mervin. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others right after this.
If you can believe this.
Come by my house and let me show you some movies.
Why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Thanks for staying with us. Dominica's sole electricity provider, Domlec, reaped the fruits of over a year of negotiations when they accepted 2 licenses allowing them to continue conducting business in Dominica. The Independent Regulatory Commission, or IRC, handed over the 25-year licenses to the Domlec Board of Directors on Monday. The licenses grant Domlec authority to 1. Generate electricity, and 2. Transmit, distribute, and supply electricity. Among the witnesses were Energy Minister Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, IRC Commissioner Dr. Eisenhower Douglas, and Domlec officials. Minister Blackmore's remarks at the event centered on government's geothermal pursuits and what its success will mean for Domlec.
Notwithstanding the fact that we have taken a policy decision as a government that the small plant that we're going to construct for you, the people of Dominica, by 2015, is going to be owned mainly by the state. But we have to understand, as we demonstrate today by issuing those licenses, the infrastructure that is required to transmit and to generate is owned by Domlec. And it seems to me, therefore, we must be engaged with some constructive dialogue, because there's some important things to be negotiated going forward to get us to the level we need to get at, so that the consumers can benefit. Power purchase agreement, etc. And all those various levels of negotiation that must be entered with Domlec are critical going forward. So that's why I'm happy to have learned from Domlec and with the new owners that they too are equally committed to advancing our cause in geothermal development, recognizing that we have to be able to engage in constructive dialogue going forward.
The IRC, which was inaugurated in 2007, operates independently to ensure that electricity consumers receive the highest quality of electricity at fair and reasonable prices. The organization was formed by the Electricity Supply Act No. 10 of 2006.
Some people refer to that act as the Bible of the IRC. We try to observe it as strictly as we can. And it's a very good act, okay? And I would like to say it is model legislation for the rest of the OECS. Of course, it grew out of the difficult period of the stabilization program with the IMF and the World Bank. That difficult period, it grew out of that. The purpose being to improve the efficiency of the electricity sector. And as you know, electricity is a very important input in industry, in the hotel, in the hotel plant, also in households. And if the electricity sector is functioning properly, it has major positive implications for the economy. So we are very, very pleased that we're able to reach this major milestone with Domlec without any major rancor.
Dr. Douglas believes that with geothermal energy development and achievable concept, there is much more work ahead for Dominic. The licensing process is one which began with national public consultations earlier this year. The IRC's Executive Director, Lance McCaskey, provided a look into the details of the licenses. Here are a few clips.
Both licenses are to commence on January 1st, 2014. There again, there was a lot of things that had to be done for that commencement date to be made a reality. We also, in those licenses, made arrangements for the assignment or transfer of the license. That was not around before. And what we did was put in the license the procedure that must be followed by both DOMLEC and the IRC if DOMLEC needs or intends to transfer the licenses. Then there's the case of transfer of shares of the licensee, transfer of shares of DOMLEC.
It was also indicated that those licenses do not provide any exclusivity to DOMLEC.
Generation license is non-exclusive, which means that generation is open, competition is being allowed by the IRC. The transmission and distribution license is, on the other hand, exclusive. DOMLEC has an exclusive right to transmit, distribute, and supply electricity all across Dominica for domestic needs. There are two exceptions to that. One being a developer coming to develop an area where DOMLEC does not have a supply system. DOMLEC will then have to decide whether they will put in the supply system or they would say no, they can't do it. If they do say no, then the IRC could issue a license for distribution and supply in that area.
That ceremony marks the first such gesture in over 20 years.
The Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, has made a significant amount of funds available towards the creation of a program to assist students of the Dominica State College who are finding difficulties in paying their tuition fees.
We have to continue supporting the students who are unable to meet the tuition fees.
The students of the Dominica State College applauded on Tuesday as they witnessed the official handing over of a check of $100,000 to head of the college, Dr. Donald Peters, by Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. The presentation by the Dominica leader, who is a former student and tutor at the college, will go towards the creation of a financial aid program.
I believe it is unfair and unwarranted for the college to send anybody home because he or she cannot pay the tuition fees, or for the college to deny anybody from sitting an exam because he or she hasn't paid his tuition fees.
Students of the college are impressed with government's contribution to the financial aid program.
I think that was a very generous presentation from the Prime Minister. Seeing that he was already a student and a lecturer here, it was a very good initiative from the government of Dominica, and we, the students of Dominica State College, are very thankful for that.
I found it good because the college does need money, and that the fact that he's willing to assist, it shows that he's interested in college, so I find us good.
It is really beneficial to our school, and it is beneficial to us students because there are a lot of people who cannot pay the school fees. A lot of people who cannot afford to come to college every day, and it is a good idea that he did that.
Meantime, the Honorable Prime Minister has assured college officials that he will take action to ensure that the financial aid program continues at the DSC.
As Minister of Finance, I shall give instructions to the various state-owned institutions to make contributions annually to this financial aid program. Our hope and prayer is that the private sector too, and those of us who benefited from the education at the State College, will make our own small contributions. So at least all of our students who want to attend the college and who are so qualified would be afforded the opportunity.
Tuesday's presentation was held at the new state-of-the-art college facility at Stock Farm. The $30 million structure was built with loan funds from the People's Republic of China and has created an opportunity for increased number of students to access tertiary education.
In 2002, the study showed that only 7% of high school graduates in this country had access to the college. 7%. Today, we have seen tremendous strides in creating access for our young boys and girls to attend the college.
College students are excited about the construction of the new building, which opened its doors in September.
Based on my experience, since I was already on the old campus, I believe that the new school was a very good initiative from the government of Dominica. It is more comfortable, it is more spacious, we have more access to the internet and a larger library. And I think that the classrooms are very unique.
It's nice, it's spacious, it's convenient, it's all good.
I think that it's a really big improvement from what it was before. And I think that it's a more conducive learning environment. They have cleaner classrooms, and it gives the lecturers a better teaching environment also.
I think that it's very good that the Prime Minister had the project funded by the government of China. I really enjoy being here today because it is a good innovation, and it is more spacious and it is more conducive to learning. So I am happy that we have this new school. It's better for the students.
The Honorable Prime Minister's carriage went on tour of the new facility on Tuesday, stopping several times to interact with students. The Dominica leader was accompanied by College President Dr. Donald Peters and the Chairman of the Board of Governors, Brian Mead.
In other news, residents of Petit-Savan and Dalis have been assured that their roads will soon receive some much-needed attention. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, who is also the Finance Minister, gave that commitment to the residents at the launching of the T-Savan reunion over the weekend.
I know I came to Petit-Savan and I went to Dalis earlier this week, and I saw the terrible condition of the roads. And I have given instructions to the Ministry of Public Works. In Cabinet on Monday, I called the Permanent Secretary and the Chief Technical Officer, and I said to them that these roads should never be in such terrible condition. That the people of Petit-Savan have done nothing to the government to allow the road to be in that terrible condition. And you will have seen this week, the ministry staff coming here to do the necessary measurements. They will provide a much improved road, and I've said to them, as the Minister of Finance and Prime Minister, money will not be the problem to effect a proper road in Petit-Savan. That includes the road going to Dalis. So it's from Petit-Savan all the way back to Dalis.
Prime Minister Skerritt further informed the residents that members of Parliament for Petit-Savan and Dalis, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru and Honorable Peter Seja, will provide direct supervision to the project. They will also report on the status of works to the Prime Minister.
I want to apologize on behalf of the government for having the road in such terrible condition. But rest assured that these roads will be done much to your satisfaction and pleasure.
The Prime Minister also confirmed that the Petit-Savan playing field will also be completed shortly.
And rest assured the playing field will be completed, including the access roads all the way to the playing field, so that you can have a very wonderful facility. And I really want to also commend the Member of Parliament for his vision in respect to this playing field. Because I came to Petit-Savan some years ago, and I walked in every single part of Petit-Savan looking for a location to build a playing field. We went up in the mountains up there, we went down by the bay, and we went to this old place where you play cricket, that once you hit the ball, it goes into the water, and it's a 6. And when Dr. Darrow said he was going to build the playing field there, I said, well, let's see what happens. And coming back here and seeing what has been done, dynamiting this hard rocks there is really a project that needs commendation, and of course the leadership and the vision of the Member of Parliament for this area.
Residents of Silver Lake are looking on with pride as government's promise to enhance their living conditions is becoming a reality. They moved here in the aftermath of Hurricane David in 1979 in search of alternative settlements. The government of the day constructed what has been referred to as longhouses. Decades later, quite apart from the rehabilitation of one of the longhouses, there has been no tangible efforts made to address the housing needs of those residents. Until now.
It was through this government's intervention, through the Dominica Labour Party government intervention, the Silver Lake community has been given tremendous attention.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit led a cabinet delegation to the community in 2008 to hear firsthand the economic and social concerns of residents. The visit confirmed what various studies and assessments undertaken within that community had revealed: the need for improved shelter in the Silver Lake community.
We recognized the poor housing condition. We took a decision then that the government shall come back to fix the poor housing condition confronting the residents.
A decision prompted by the Dominica leaders' continued interest in enhancing the lives of Dominican nationals.
Those of you who have been here and you have seen these long houses and the conditions in which people live in, there's no way we can come as anybody and criticize the government's intervention in this community.
The Division of Housing was mandated to develop a plan of action to improve housing conditions at Silver Lake, and in March 2012, directives were given to seek planning permission for the construction of an apartment building in that community.
The designs offered what we have today, with the building in the form of a duplex style, offering 6 apartment units at 3 levels. The upper 2 levels will comprise 4 2-bedroom units with kitchen, bathroom, living dining room, and an entry porch. The lowest level will comprise 2 1-bedroom units with the other amenities mentioned above.
Contractor Felix Thomas and his team began the site clearing on Thursday, September 26, and the $1 million project is expected to be completed early next year. The project is expected to have a positive impact on the lives of residents during and after the construction phase.
During the construction period, it is expected that both men and women will be employed. It is my understanding that the contractor intends to engage a 2-shift system in order to employ a larger number of persons. The provision of this new housing facility will assist in improving the general aesthetics of the area, but more so will lend to the improvement of the esteem and prestige of the residents, but in particular the intended occupants of the new homes.
Honorable Minister for Housing Reginald Osry says the Silver Lake community model will be implemented in other communities.
Our focus on Silver Lake, we hope to serve as a pilot project and to move throughout the country, improving the lives of the residents of those very small and vulnerable communities.
For residents of Silver Lake, the housing project is a fulfillment of yet another promise by the DLP administration and the beginning of a new era.
These housing constructions is a change for us who have been there from the beginning.
Whenever they plan something and whenever they say they're going to do something, it happens.
Meantime, there are plans for the construction of 5 additional apartments and a resource center in that community in the years ahead.
Work is expected to begin soon on the construction of a new primary school in Newtown. Contracts were signed on Wednesday during a ceremony on the school grounds. The school is a gift from the government of the People's Republic of China and will cost over $2 million US. Wednesday's ceremony was attended by Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and China's ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Wang Zonglai, Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau South constituency, Honorable Ambrose George, members of Cabinet and staff and students of the Newtown Primary School. Minister for Education, Honorable Peter Seja, says the construction of the new facility is a necessity.
We recognize that the age of the building, its deteriorated structural condition, has been a constant reminder to us of the dire need for a new structure that is both comfortable and conducive to teaching and learning. Additionally, the persistent threat of slope failure also dictated changes in the location and alignment of the building to ensure the safety of the users. Friends, the mission of the Dominica Labour Party government is to provide a better life for every Dominican. And we are convinced that this will be achieved through the provision of quality education for all in a safe, friendly environment, and Newtown is no exception.
And finally, this news time, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has confirmed that his government is working to embark on the National Employment Mentorship Program. The Prime Minister made the announcement during a presentation at the Dubla Bioche Preschool earlier this week. The Prime Minister says the National Employment Program is part of government's efforts at addressing the unemployment rate in the country. The program, which will be launched in the next few weeks, will be fully financed by the government of Dominica and is expected to target about 400 unemployed Dominicans. The Prime Minister said last Monday 98 citizens from the north of the island who registered for the hospitality training program officially commenced classes. This, he says, is an initiative of the Dominica Employment and Small Business Support Agency in partnership with the Dominica State College.
On Thursday last week in Portsmouth, we launched an initiative which is part of a national program of mentorship where we are targeting unemployed people, particularly young people, who we will provide training for. So in Portsmouth we had this, and I believe there were some people from Dubla and Bioche present. I saw the faces.
Yes.
And there were 98 people from the north at this training session. They will be trained by the Dominica State College. And at the end of the program, it will be 6 weeks program. 6 weeks program. They will get a certificate from the Dominica State College. So somebody who never completed primary school, who never completed high school, will have a certificate from the Dominica State College at the end of the 6 weeks program. To say to the whole world that I have completed this program, I am trained and I am qualified, here is my certificate.
The Prime Minister announced that each participant will receive a stipend from the government to assist with bus fares and other incidentals.
Each participant will receive a stipend from the government at the end of each week. The reason why we're giving at the end of each week and not the first day of the week, because we don't want to take the money and don't show up for the whole week. So we'll give it to you at the end of the week. So for the 6 weeks, we'll provide you with a stipend at the end of the week. What we'll also be doing is that we'll also cover the bus fares for people coming to this, because you also have to go to the state college for classes sometimes. And this is at the new state college where we spent $30 million to build for the young people of Dominica. And once you finish this program, you will be placed on attachment at whether it is Secret Bay, whether it is Coconut Beach, whether it is the Fort Young, whatever it is, Regents will be placing you on attachment. And those who successfully complete the attachment, the government of Dominica will pay the salary of these 98 people for a 1-year period to gain experience and so forth. So we'll be paying the salaries.
Prime Minister Skerrit also noted that government will also launch an education mentorship program targeting primary and high school students. College graduates will be employed in this program to provide educational mentorship support to the students after school. Meanwhile, technical staff of the Small Business Unit is expected to meet with residents on the west coast of the country on Thursday, October 10, to provide more information regarding employment opportunities for that area.
What's going to happen this week on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. at the primary school, the officials from the Ministry of Small Business and Employment Agency will be here to meet with you who are interested in setting up your small business and need assistance from the government to do that. And also to meet with some of you who have your own small business, whether it's a shop, whether it's a bar, whether it's a restaurant, whether you're a fisherman, and whether you're a bus driver and you look for help here and there. My advice to you is to show up for this meeting at 4:30 on Thursday with the ministry officials who will provide you with necessary forms to fill in and who will assist you in filling the forms and who will guide you in terms of the kind of support the government can give to you.
You might be a tileman, you might be a carpenter, you're looking for some tools, you have the invoices, you come, you apply on Thursday, and we'll also stick to process it.
And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole, non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, membre parlement pour cortège Honorable Reginald Austri, qui a fait parole que le projet réhabilitation Chimé Lago en Guatans, c'est un bon projet. Honorable Austri qui a remercié le gouvernement pour le projet cela. Et aussi qui a complimenté citoyens Lagon pour patience à eux pendant le projet cela qui a bâti.
Et nous finissons à présent, nous allons ranger Chimé là, nous allons faire un autre surface, pour des projets pour arriver à Purple Turtle. Ça nous a fait à présent qui a coûté nous impliqué $400,000. Et là nous finissons ranger Chimé là, il a coûté nous à peu près $1 million. Mais moi, question un projet qui mon lagon a respecté pour longtemps et à présent il venu. Mais moi, quoi ça qui est plus belle, c'est patience là, c'est mon l'année parce que nous passer avant en boutique bien parce que nous pas croiser place là et nous comprendre bien le projet là parce que yo même connaître bénéfice qui projet ça là ça mener par mon lagon comme ça moi voulais oui merci pour patience et pour oui merci gouvernement là qui a un temps qui est très difficile qui là où ça pas ni de l'argent pour nous taper l'argent pour nous faire projet là mais plus important pour moi c'est un lot peut-être 15 jeunes moun de lagon qui travaillent à ce projet là qui dure 4 mois comme ça pour Noël c'est mon là qui a chanté sérénal parce que y a l'argent poche quand ça shop pour Noël et ça passe en bonne Noël.
En autre nouvelle, Festival Comité Dominique a fait report qui tout bagaille en ordre pour Festival Creole Mondial l'année 2013. Parole ça là sorti officiel à place Leroy Wadix Charles.
Tout bête en ordre pour le moment parce que nous faisons sauter, nous sommes en spécial différents niveaux nous essayé arriver à présent et à présent tout bête en ordre pour ça, son système, tous différents aspects des festivals là. Après ça nous a fait c'est ba moun ici en chance pour trouver ticket saison pour un spécial prix. Et ça c'est pourquoi aujourd'hui là nous ouvert Caille Culture Ararak pour tous ces monde là qui à ville là, tous ces monde là qui besoin en chance par la journée pour venir chercher ticket yo. Et ça c'est à Caille Culture Ararak jusqu'à 4h après-midi. Vendredi ça nous fait nous côté DJ l'accord pour ba mon chance au 2h pour 4h pour yo trouver ticket saison pour $250. Et puis vendredi soir nous avons mon chance accord et ça nous avons essayé de faire tous les vendredis nous avons un festival d'Ouivé et nous avons fait mon warm up comme si dit nous avons fait mon intéressant dans le festival tout ces monde là ils ont chance pour venir à côté Crazy Coconuts. Nous avons des trois orchestres là, nous avons des fanatiques, nous avons des machines créoles, nous avons des cross vibes. C'est gratis. Ou pas pour payer rien, ou besoin de place pour aller vendredi après-midi, vendredi soir. Et puis place là c'est Crazy Coconuts. Vous avez trouvé ticket saison encore pour $250. Et nous sommes là jusqu'à minuit. Et samedi pour tous ces gens là à notre pays là et ouest pays là, nous avons quitté ville là Jarna pour aller grand temps.
En même temps aussi, le département environ santé qui travaille et puis DFC pour faire assurer que les gens qui ont préparé manger pour le festival là bien enregistré. Parole ça là sur le chef département là Anthony Scotland.
Tout food and loss. Nous avons chain meeting avec eux, éduquer eux assez pour préparer manger. Pour traite manger ça qui distribue manger ba moun yo pour chaîne qu'on yo dans qualité garde yo couvre tête yo la net yo pour ni ID card yo là yo.
En la nouvelle, une délégation 6 moun hot secteur public et puis privé quitte pays là mardi semaine salam pour participer à un workshop intégration OICS qui a pris place en Grenade semaine salam. Délégation là c'est Matthew Leblanc hot département Labor, Miranda Aki hot CARICOM Single Market and Economy, Kellyanne Williams hot Discover Dominica Authority, Hilda Kelshal DEIC, Claudia Walter Diaspora Unit et puis Nadette Roach hot National Youth Council. Plusieurs aspects en parmi couponnement travail média, communication et puis manière pour parler en public, quand on fait attention. Ambassadeur Dominique pour OICS, His Excellency Félix Grégoire, qui a bien supporté la participation Dominique. Il a expecté que ces participants-là qui a une meilleure manière pour position croyante pour bénéficier de l'union économique. Et puis finalement, messieurs et mesdames, célébration pour gibier qui a voyagé l'occasion pour l'autre qui continue en Dominique. Un aspect célébration là, c'est session et puis négion l'école apprendre différents aspects gibier et puis mouvement aérien. Parole cela sur votre officier forêt, M. Stephen Duran.
Plus que 50% Zozio Dominique, c'est Zozio qui a immigré hod nord pour south et south pour nord. Et il a sorti juste un Arctic region et il a descendu, so you can stop ici, il y a différents Zozio comme petit Zozio terre et il y a Zozio glow, ça Zozio qui volant les comme osprey, vous savez, différents cas de zozio. Eh bien, il est bon pour nous parler et puis monde pour savoir ça qui a fait. Et l'année ça nous avons parlé puis les enfants de l'école, nous avons des trois sessions et puis les enfants de l'école et puis nous avons mené des trois monde aussi garder ces zozio à Layou River aussi.
Si mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, St. Luce. Au revoir.
How much do you really know about Dominica's national flower? Find out more next.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
The bois kwai, which was legislated as a national flower in 1978, was selected because, as an indigenous plant, it has survived our entire history. It can therefore be said to represent the continuity of our young people.
Its hardiness and scarlet flowers are reminiscent of our strong, rugged and resourceful people with an ability to survive and overcome problems, and the Dominica's ability to triumph despite seemingly insurmountable obstacles. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Mervin. Thank you for watching.